Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, a compelling new argument that TikTok should be banned.
Also, Hulu still might show you ads, even if you pay for ad-free.
All that and more on the way next. This study is crazy to me. I'm so torn on it. It says that basically, if you keep working after you're 65, which we would consider like kind of the normal target retirement age, the people that work over 65 feel like it benefits their health. And 88% of workers that are, seniors are satisfied with their jobs. Basically, if you're working and you're a senior, you're happy with working.
Interesting.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's also some other factors probably involved in that, like maybe they're working part-time or in a place where it's like they get to choose a lot of their hours or something like that. So it's not like a traditional 9-to-5 type of job.
Yeah.
And in some cases, I'm sure it is. But also, I feel like with how our economy has been, I don't really know how many people can retire anymore.
That's what I'm thinking.
You know what I mean? It's sad, but I think that's also a part of it.
Yeah, I think there's a mix of things. But I mean, when you look at 88% of people that are seniors saying they're happy with their jobs, that's 88% of all people, the mix of people that are in the situation like we just mentioned, where you think they might not be happy because they're just like, I'm getting old and I still have to work. I thought I'd be past this. But then there's also the people that are like, because like if you compare older workers to people our age that are much younger and much less experienced, you'd think the older people would be like, well, if they're happy with their jobs, of course they're going to keep working if they feel healthy enough.
Sure.
And whatever, because this is why I'm torn. I feel like that could be me, because like all I want to do is retire. I would love to stop working, but then I also feel like I can't shut up. And after you give me like 7 days off in a row, I might just die because I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
You're like, I have to have a microphone in front of my face.
Yeah.
So I can share my thoughts.
But this is a good job to not retire from, because as long as I have my wits about me, like this is not physically taxing in any way. It probably wouldn't be great for my health once I get old to like wake up at this hour.
Yeah, well, a lot of older people do wake up early and go to bed early.
Yeah, I'd be even better off. And I'd still take a nap. I'd go to bed at 6:00. And this would actually be perfect for me. I don't know. I'm just so torn because like part of me, I dream about being able to retire, and I'm sure a lot of people are like that. But then I think a lot of people realize, I guess, that retirement isn't all it's cracked up to be. You get really bored.
That there is a potential of that, of you getting bored and being like, well, what do I do now? I do know a lot of retired people that travel and go and do really fun things. So I feel like it's just all about, what you're wanting to do with your life when you're in that phase of life. So, it's a tricky balance, I suppose. But I can almost guarantee one thing.
What's that?
100% of retired people are happy they're not working.
Yeah, that's not what I don't think they miss the working part.
No.
They might miss having like a routine, seeing people, stuff to do. But yeah, the actual work part, probably not many, most of them.
Yeah.
Not clocking in at the office or whatever.
No.
But I think this should be probably something that we think about, like we may not, as younger people, think about retirement specifically, but you just think like, man, I wish I didn't have to work. And apparently once you get to the point where you wish you didn't have to work, or at least you think you'd get to that age, the people that have the option, that may have the option to just not work, they're still working.
Yeah.
And they're happy with it. Now, this is a crazy video. You should definitely look it up, or you can just say, I want to see it at 8772 RadioU, and we'll send it to you. It is a kayaker that literally got swallowed by a whale and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. As soon as I saw you put this on our docket for today to talk about, I watched the video and I was just like, that's crazy, first of all. But also so thankful that guy is okay and survived this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an absolutely insane video. That's insane thing that got captured on video.
Right. He could have, everybody's got a fishing story or whatever if they've been out at sea or at some point. But this This guy actually has it caught on tape, on video, so that on tape, so that everybody has to believe that he actually did get swallowed by a whale. It's a humpback whale, so it makes sense that he survived.
Yeah,
because the humpback whale, like that, they don't eat. It wasn't a killer whale.
No.
They don't eat meat, or if they do, it's like tiny fish and whatever plankton. So they don't even have teeth, right? It's like baleen or whatever.
Yeah. They just literally swallow stuff whole.
Yeah, so he just would have, I'm sure the whale got this guy in his mouth and spit him out. It was like, this doesn't taste good.
Not what I thought it was.
But I wonder why, like, the whale was jumping up with its mouth open, though.
Well,
with the guy here.
Well, whales do that. They will jump up with their mouth open because they'll, like, whatever prey they're after, they'll, like, scare it all together, and then they'll, like, go up in, trying to get it in its mouth.
Okay,
I don't even know if that's the best way to describe it, but whales do that. And so this guy just happened to be in the wrong place.
Yeah, at the wrong time.
Yep.
But he did live to tell the tale. He says, I thought I was dead. I thought it had eaten me, that it had swallowed me. It didn't last very long, though. Like, the video is not very long, where the whale jumps up, takes him in his mouth, and then, like, a second later, you see his head pop up.
Well, I don't know if it's a second later, but you do see the whale go down, which is what, the whale will come up with its mouth open, and then it'll go back down, and you see the whale's tail come up, and then shortly after that, the guy pops back up in his inflatable kayak, which I think is key to this. If that had not been an inflatable kayak, he might not have popped back up right away.
Oh, you would be very disoriented, to say the least.
And he does have, like, a life jacket on, of course, which is very important when you're kayaking on the ocean. Or really anywhere. But yeah, he does pop back up right after that, and I guess somehow made his way out of it. I don't know if the whale, like, just spat him out, or if he was able to, like, just jerk his way out of there. Who knows? But he's out. He's good.
Yeah. And then he said that he will go to Nineveh after all. Somebody had to do it. But yeah, this guy, swallowed by a whale, lives to tell the tale. Very amazing. And I guess if you survive without any injuries, like, it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
This is the most interesting thing that's probably ever happened to him.
Yeah, and I doubt anything will beat it. Like, it's an insane story.
A story to tell for the rest of your life. Unfortunately for him, he has video to go with it. You're like many who have eaten at Papa John's, gotten a cup of that garlic dipping sauce for your pizza, and just thought, man, this stuff is so good. I wish I could bathe in it. Now you can. In honor of Valentine's Day, Papa John's is celebrating that people's love of garlic dipping sauce by launching garlic dipping sauce bath bombs that you can actually win. It looks like on their social media. That these are a real thing you can actually bathe in.
I mean, this is absolutely insane, but props to Papa John's for going all out with a campaign like this.
Listen, obviously I love Papa John's garlic dipping sauce.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But I can't think of, like, a substance that just lends itself less to bathing than garlic. You wouldn't want to smell like garlic.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, it may taste good, but I absolutely do not want to get out of a bath and be like, garlic. That's what I love smelling like right now.
This is what I think too. I think about this getting in your hair.
Oh.
And I think about how long that would last, how much actual real shampoo you would have to use to get the garlic smell out.
Right. That's what I would be worried about too. That not even just with hair, with any part of your body that you somehow soak in garlic. And I would be worried about the smell lasting way too long.
I know we're associating, like, this bath bomb with the garlic dipping sauce, which is all buttery and greasy, and so that would, like, you wouldn't want that on your skin.
No.
I think that's not fair to this. It would just smell like garlic. But again, the smell of garlic, is it garlic and onions or some of those things that just, like, stick with, like, sometimes you get some on your hands and then, like, a day later you like have your hand near your face and you're like, what's that smell? Oh yeah, I had garlic yesterday. And like it sticks, even though you've washed your hands and you've showered, like it sticks around. It just seeps in. And that's what I'd be worried, that this garlic bath bomb would still have that characteristic, that it would seep in.
Yeah.
And that you'd still at least like kind of be smelling it even if nobody else did, like a day later.
Right. I wouldn't be able to use this anyways because I don't have a bathtub, but I definitely would not be the person they'd be sending this to.
Yeah, I feel like I'm with you. I miss out on a lot of fun bath bomb stuff because I don't have a bath.
Yeah.
Shower only.
Yeah.
And I know they make shower bombs, but it's not the same.
It's the shower steamers, and they're not the same.
Not as fun.
No.
I wish they were. I really do. Somebody like get on an invention that is like a bath bomb for a shower that's actually fun. That would be as if my showers need to be any more fun than they already are. It's like the best part of my day. This weekend is the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Which means the slam dunk competition. Mm-hmm. It does not mean the 3-point competition between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, though. That has been canceled.
Yeah.
The one memorable thing that has happened at the NBA All-Star Weekend in the last lifetime of ours. They're like, we can't do this again. Apparently because Caitlin Clark said no. They kind of threw a monkey wrench into the entire thing. And so they've just called it all off.
Yeah, they didn't think they were going to be able to do anything that would top what happened last year, and they really wanted to try. Mm-hmm. So they were thinking of doing that 2-on-2 thing with adding Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark, but that fell through. So then they just decided to scratch it entirely. I'm hoping they don't scratch it forever, though. I would love for them to, try again with Caitlin Clark when she has competed in a 3-point competition, because she just said she wants her first one to be for the WNBA All-Star Weekend, which makes sense. She wants to bring some publicity to her own sport first before she goes and plays in the NBA's All-Star Weekend. But it's just crazy to me that she has the star power that she could do that. But so hopefully they will eventually bring this back, because I did really like the first iteration of this last year.
Yeah, this was, again, it was the one fun thing. So I was looking at the NBA dunk competition competitors.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else about this All-Star Weekend that's going, at least about the skills competition and slam dunk stuff and whatever, that is going to get anybody to be interested.
Yeah, the only thing that the only thing that kind of intrigues me is to see if Mac McClung can go, get a three-peat.
Yeah.
3 times in a row. And he has had some pretty electric dunks, but other than that, the competition has really fallen flat over the past few years when it comes to the dunk contest. And that's just because none of the big names, none of the big stars in the NBA want to agree to do this contest. And so you don't see what you used to see back in the day, which is Vince Carter getting up there and throwing down a huge slam dunk, or Michael Jackson, or Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing the big names anymore do this, and that's, I think, really it's hampered it.
Have you seen the rest of the lineup for the slam dunk competition?
I have. I don't know any of these people.
You follow the NBA. You watch games. Mac McClung doesn't even play in the NBA. I don't know if he ever has, but he's on the Osceola Magic now of the G League, right?
Yeah, he's on the G League.
Then there's, I have heard of Stephon Castle because he was good in college.
Okay.
He played at UConn, right? And now he's with the Spurs.
Okay.
He's a rookie.
I didn't know who he was.
Andre Jackson Jr.
Didn't know.
He plays for the Bucks, apparently.
Okay.
I don't know how much, but
right.
Sorry, Andre Jackson. And then Mattis Bazilis. Do you know which team he plays for?
From this picture here, it looks like he plays for the Bulls, but I didn't know who he was.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. So, again, these aren't the kind of people that are going to really get a lot of people to watch.
No, I have really not watched the dunk contest. I've watched the highlights to see, Mac McClung's best dunks or whatever after it's over and all said and done. But other than that, I haven't actually tuned in to watch it, which again, I'm like the P1 of the NBA. Yeah. I'm the number one person that should be tuning in for this stuff. I promote the NBA. I enjoy it. I wear their merch. And it's not even I I am willing to tune in for this.
Seriously.
So it's really broken. It's flawed. I think they need to try and scrap it and come up with something else. I do like the 3-point contest, though, and I will be tuning in for that because my Darius Garland from the Cleveland Cavaliers will be competing in that, and I'm hoping he does well.
Yeah. Well, enjoy that. And you can recap it for all of us on Monday and whatever else. This is such a horrible time of year. There's not even NBA games.
Yeah.
There's not even a good dunk contest. There's no NHL. There's no football. There's nothing. If you're trying to lose weight, I might have the secret. It's not Ozempic. Apparently that makes you go blind is what I'm seeing now, which is why I don't touch the stuff. But the secret may be eating a roast chicken every single day.
Okay.
That is what one guy, his name is James Ellis, has done every day in 2025 so far. So we're a month and a half in. He's lost 11 pounds.
Interesting.
That's pretty good. Pretty good going on the Adam Driver diet, I call it, because Adam Driver did the same thing, he said, for a while when he was growing up.
Oh, really?
Only eat roast chickens. And this guy says that it's been working out well for him. He's lost 11 pounds. He's kind of made it a little challenge to himself to obviously post about it on social media. He's building followers for his mural painting business is where he wants the attention to go. But he also says it's been like fun to try to, he's not just eating the same roast chicken from the same grocery store every day.
Yeah.
He's been working on trying out different places to see the differences to get him some level of variety in his diet. And he said you can definitely tell the difference between like an expensive one and one from the grocery store.
Interesting. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, I don't know exactly. I mean, I think we've all been told, at least from what I can understand, is, you know, chicken is kind of one of the healthier proteins. And so it makes sense, I guess, if you're only eating that you would, I guess, lose weight. It's like a healthier diet or whatever. But I'm also like wondering if maybe a part of it is because he's eating this now, he's like changed a part of his diet, which was unhealthier, you know, before.
Yeah, I don't know what his diet was like prior. That's not
because I don't know if like a super duper healthy person would like switch up their diet like this. I mean, if anyone switches up their diet entirely, then there's going to be changes that happen. But what I mean is like, would they get as big of a boost if they did something like this?
To me, I think a roast chicken, if that's what you're going to do every day, is one of the better options. Obviously, you're going to be missing out on some vitamins there, I feel.
Sure.
That you might want, like, you know,
some
vegetables.
Supplements.
Yeah. But I think that is one of the better choices for something that if you were just going to limit yourself to one thing to eat. I will say, though, I think what it is that he's limiting himself, and this is what I believe, that you can if your goal is only to lose weight, you can lose weight eating absolutely anything if you just limit how much of it you eat.
Right.
I'm a great example. I haven't changed what I eat this year, but I go through a phase of this like every year. It's like, okay, I'm going to start basically just making sure I'm at a calorie deficit and still continue eating garbage food. I'm eating Popeyes all the time, but if I only eat Popeyes once a day and I don't eat 7 sandwiches, then I'm still able to lose weight if I get enough exercise too. So that is the lesson here, is just if you just want to lose weight and you just limit yourself, and he's limiting himself to one chicken, there's not that many calories in one roast chicken. And if that's what you eat, and most people probably wouldn't eat a roast chicken in its entirety in one sitting.
No.
So then that's your lunch and dinner, and maybe you skip breakfast or whatever, but you're really limiting your calorie intake just by limiting it to only one chicken.
I guess so. Yeah. And also, like, if you're eating something that's more like a roast chicken versus like fast food or something that's loaded up with calories like junk food, then you definitely would be, you know, changing up your diet significantly, where you could be operating at a calorie deficit or just eating something healthier than what you previously were.
But take this as a challenge. Take this as a challenge. Don't, or at least stop with the excuses. You can lose weight eating anything, is my lesson learned here.
Yeah.
Especially roasted chicken. Get your popcorn ready. It's our Friday tradition, the weekend watch list on Radio U, letting you know which movies are new, which you could be watching in theaters and at home this weekend. a big weekend, our first really big weekend for new movies in 2025, I feel.
Yeah.
Headlined by Captain America, Brave New World. Sam Wilson, now Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident after meeting with President Thaddeus Ross, of course played by Harrison Ford. He must soon discover the reason behind a nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has the entire world seeing red. I think that's an allusion to the Red Hulk.
I would think so, considering they've already given away that in the trailers.
The critics have given this a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like nobody is saying it's amazing, but I feel like a pretty wide range of like, this is one of the worst Marvel movies ever, to like, it's actually halfway decent.
Okay.
Like Kyle Smith of the Wall Street Journal, one of my favorite critics, says A Brave New World isn't an event film, at least it's competently executed, without resorting to played out gimmickry such as skipping across the multiverse. And it gives the audience plenty of analogs for real world problems.
Interesting.
So he likes it.
Okay.
Kyle Smith.
Real world problems, just what we want in our movies.
Yeah. Interesting. I do want to go see Captain America.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Obviously, it's going to have to wait until after the Oscars for me. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely more interested in this than some of the other Marvel stuff that's been put out lately.
I have not seen any Phase 4 Marvel films. I was telling this to Nene yesterday because he's going to go see this tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We should have him on the show to review it.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. But so I don't know when I'm planning to go see this, but this might be the first Phase 4 film that I actually watch.
Nice. Meanwhile, also out in theaters this weekend, Paddington in Peru. When Paddington discovers his beloved aunt has gone missing from the home for retired bears, he and the Brown family head to the jungles of Peru to find her. Determined to solve the mystery, they soon stumble across a legendary treasure as they make their way through the rainforests of the Amazon.
Ooh, a Paddington mystery.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
And get a load of this. 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let's go, Paddington.
But we know the critics love Paddington. Paddington 2 is one of the movies that I think has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, those movies are so adorable and just so wholesome.
I've never seen the second one. I did see the first one. It's okay. Katie Walsh of the Tribune News Service says, having attained the heights of Paddington 2, the third installment can only float downward ever so slightly.
Oh, well.
She gave it a 2.5 out of 4.
Oh, well, I mean, after getting a 100%, it's hard to follow up with that.
Right.
But this does sound like an interesting film with the whole mystery thing.
What do you think the odds of Paddington in Peru making more money than Captain America Brave New World are this weekend?
I'd say pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it's still Marvel, but Paddington in Peru, family film.
Sure.
People love the Paddington stuff. So I don't know. You know what? That would be a big failure on Marvel's part.
It would be. That'd be huge.
Also on streaming, we'll just do this quickly. Have you ever seen any Bridget Jones stuff?
I did watch Bridget Jones' Diary many years ago, yes.
Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, now on Peacock.
Okay.
Has your boy Hugh Grant in it.
Ah.
Omni-Loop is now on Hulu, starring Ayo Edebiri from The Bear. That's a time travel movie or a time loop. It's an Omni-Loop. It's a loop. And then, so that's on, what did I say? Hulu. And then if you, of course, Valentine's weekend, if you want something romantic, Netflix has you covered. La Dolce Villa is their new kind of hallmarky romantic movie. It's on Netflix this weekend.
Is it in a different language?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just takes place in Tuscan Villa in Italy.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, good setting, it sounds like.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so that's your weekend watch. Let us know, of course, what you watch at 8772 Radio U. We'll see you at the movies. You know, when in the office, when Andy says, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
Yep.
We just left them.
Oh, no.
Because the NFL season, of course, recently ended. And with it ends the end of an era, and that is the Red Zone being the best thing in sports, possibly.
Yeah.
NFL RedZone is it sounds like going to be losing their longtime host, Scott Hanson, who's done it for 15 years.
Wow.
But his contract was up at the end of this season, and it sounds like now he will be negotiating with NBC, so he may wind up doing some sports coverage for them instead. And the NFL RedZone will have to find a new host, and that's on top of, if you recall, NFL RedZone testing out ads this past year, and you know that they were testing it out last year. This coming season is when the ads invade RedZone.
Yep.
And so the good old days are gone.
That might be why Scott's ready to leave. He's like, the show's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here to watch its downfall with ads.
And he's been crushing it every football Sunday for 15 years, so it's finally time for him to get his bag at NBC or whatever, doing Olympics or whatever he's going to wind up doing.
Right, yeah.
It says that he is going to... so he's done the Olympic stuff with NBC before. I didn't even realize, didn't remember, but a very similar thing, Gold Zone, which that's kind of like their whip around coverage of the Olympics. But I guess they've impressed... He's also impressed them there, and so he may get a bigger role at NBC.
Nice.
Which is great for him. He is one of the best sportscasters to me.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job. And also the Olympics are coming up in Los Angeles in 2028, the Summer Olympics. So I know, even though that seems far away, that NBC is already ramping up for that, already getting ready for that.
We're probably going to start, if we haven't yet, start seeing commercials for that like now. You're home for the 2026 Olympics.
Right.
So, yeah, they got to be prepared. But it is going to be sad if we wind up losing him from the NFL RedZone, because that has been so many people.
Yeah.
It's been our refuge on Sundays for years.
Right. It's going to be the end of an era.
Yeah. But, all right. Well, good. I don't know what else to say. It's just
Hudson is devastated.
I am. It's tough. First, the football season ends.
Yeah.
And now this.
It's like an even greater loss.
But I want to be happy for Scott.
Sure.
I want to be happy that we may get to see him more in other avenues.
Well, then focus on that. Focus on your happiness for Scott.
The positives. This is crazy. Igloo has recalled 1 million coolers. If you have an Igloo cooler, you might want to throw it out. Throw it in the garbage. Take it and chuck it out the window as fast as you can, because otherwise you're risking getting a part of your body amputated.
Oh, no.
Most likely your finger.
Ooh.
But, I mean, if it's capable of cutting off a finger, it's also capable of cutting off a toe or your ear if they just get in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that is what has been happening with these. They say they're the 90-quart flip and toe rolling coolers. And so I saw that initially, and I thought, Allie, dang, what did they do with the lids of these things that is chopping off people's fingers? Why do they have to have such sharp edges? But apparently it's with the handle that you would use to like pull it along, because it's got wheels.
Yeah.
And if that gets very tight quarters with the actual rest of the cooler, and it could pinch your finger in there. And so there's been bone fractures and actual amputations of fingers because of this the handle.
It's making me very uneasy right now.
Seriously.
I don't like it. My hands are hurting. My hands are hurting thinking of this.
Yeah, so get that cooler out of there. Now, the good news everybody keeps saying is that at least if you cut off your finger with this thing, you could chuck it in the cooler on your way to the hospital, keep it chilled so it can be reattached.
Right.
It's the one positive.
Yeah, the one positive.
I mean, and it's only, they say they've recalled 1 million of them. There's only been 12 reports of fractures, lacerations, and amputations. So those are pretty good odds still.
Fairly minimal chance of this happening, but yeah, it looks like they want you to switch out your handle with a safer one.
What do you think the odds are that somebody sees this recall and they have this cooler, and especially like maybe for video, for TikTok, they're like, I'm going to test out if this can actually be done, and then actually hurt themselves?
No, that's a dumb idea.
Maybe use like a hot dog.
I was going to say,
to test it out.
If you're testing it out, use like a carrot.
See if you can recreate the finger chopping off.
I hate that idea, but definitely don't use your actual hand. Use a carrot.
Yeah. Or I think a hot dog.
But a hot dog is not the same consistency as your hand. I mean, that would be, you would have 1 million amputations if our hot dogs were hands.
If it was like everything everywhere all at once.
If our hands were hot dogs.
Yeah,
sorry, that's what I meant to say there.
So yeah, I think, so it's the 90-quart flip and toe Igloo coolers. I guess you can probably like return them or something and get your credit back. Even if you bought this way back in 2019, you're
apparently what you're supposed to do is call them and they'll send you a new handle.
It's too much work. Throw it away. Buy a new cooler.
Throw
away all Igloo coolers because they're all guilty by association. Is my personal opinion.
I don't know about that.
You can't be too safe. You can't be too, and buy a competing brand, I think is what we should do. I've got a TikTok trend of people injuring themselves intentionally. That is the trend. The trend is to drop different items on your bare foot and rate out of 10 how much it hurts.
Oh my goodness, why?
I've got one particular guy example that has amassed over 8 million views simply by doing this on one video. I believe he says the Stanley Cup out of the objects that he dropped on his foot is the most painful. But one more thing a Stanley Cup can do is possibly break your toe. Yeah,
no joke. It's a metal cup. What are you doing? That's so stupid.
Yeah, but you can't argue with the results. 8.5 million views later, he is laughing his way all the way to the bank if you make money for just one video.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works, but yeah, he certainly has his little 15 minutes of fame here from doing something incredibly dumb.
And then, of course, he got it's now up to 9.4 million views.
Oh, my goodness.
But then you do the Stanley Cup, you got to up the ante now. People have got to top him until eventually it reaches the point of, you may not break your toe, but you're going to have some bad bruising. You're not going to be able to walk, possibly, if you drop something heavy. Like, why would you do this?
I don't know why you would do this. We were talking earlier about the amputating your fingers on the cooler, and it was making my hands hurt. Now my feet hurt, Hudson, because all I can think about is objects falling on them and how much it would hurt if a Stanley Cup fell on my bare foot.
Now, to TikTok's credit, they are putting the little warnings on these videos. Warning, trying things that might hurt. Right. Basically is what it says. So at least they're giving people a little flag of context before they try to imitate this tomfoolery.
Yeah. Don't try to imitate it. I believe in our listeners that they're not going to be doing that. But yeah, the impressionable people on TikTok unfortunately might.
The views.
So okay, are you going to do it, Hudson, for the views?
I don't know. I don't know if I can top. I don't know.
You seem like you're really rationalizing this out.
How many? So he gave it like the Stanley Cup is like an 8 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
So like you get 1 million views for each out of 10. The painful. So if I can find a 10 out of 10 thing, which I think 8 out of 10 for something that doesn't even actually send you to the hospital, is your scale's way off.
Right.
I can tell you that right now.
Right. Yeah, because that's pretty high on the pain level.
A Stanley Cup realistically should be like a 4.
Well, we don't know. We haven't, let a Stanley Cup fall on our foot before, at least purposefully. What in our studio right now would be a 10 out of 10 for you?
I don't think we have anything in here that's a 10 out of 10.
The board? Would it be a 10 out of 10?
It's not actually that heavy. Like, I can just pick this up. It's not really...
If it fell on your foot?
It would probably hurt. The foot thing, too, your foot is kind of like your funny bone. Like, if something falls on your foot the right way, even if it's kind of heavy, like, it might not really hurt that much because it's kind of just blunt, But if it falls on... So if you got, like, your big toe kind of, like, sticking up to where, like, that little nerve is exposed, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
I think that could really do you in.
That little nerve is exposed. I'm not entirely sure what you mean.
It's like you got like a funny bone nerve in your foot. Like if you move your foot the right way, you can like feel it, the little tendon or whatever. Okay. And I think that would act like if you hit that the right way with the wrong thing, that could really hurt, even if it's not an actually like heavy object.
I'm just pretty sure if a chunk of metal falls on you, no matter where it falls, it's going to hurt.
I think I would rate the board like a It's probably about the same as a Stanley Cup, maybe a 5 out of 10.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
There's nothing in
see,
here.
this is the problem with videos like this: is you give yourself a false sense of confidence.
Yeah,
like, that's nothing. That's gonna be a 5 out of 10, and then your foot's gone.
Since this is something that's already gone viral, I'm sure somebody has done this, but my thing would just be like giving everything insanely low rating even if it actually hurt. To prove how tough I am.
You're like, I have such a great pain tolerance.
Yeah, y'all are babies. Dropping Stanley Cups on your foot. Now, I'm kind of excited about this. This weekend, Saturday Night Live celebrating its 50th season, its 50th anniversary, which is, first of all, crazy to think about.
Right.
And they've got a lot of festivities planned.
Yes.
That span from tonight all the way through Sunday. Mm-hmm. So it's not just Saturday Night Live this weekend. It's every night live in a way. So it starts tonight is SNL 50, the Homecoming Concert.
Ah.
That is tonight on and streamed live on Peacock. It's going to be hosted by Jimmy Fallon, Bad Bunny. What a weird mix. Bad Bunny, Cher, Post Malone, Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga, Lauryn Hill, the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and the B-52s.
Whoa.
Among others. Okay, so that is tonight.
Yeah.
That kicks off the festivities. Then tomorrow they will air on NBC in place, I think, of like a Saturday Night Live episode that's new or even like a recent rerun. They will air the very first ever episode, which was actually when it was called NBC's Saturday Night.
Ah, yep.
Mostly chock full of people that most people haven't heard of at this point. But it was hosted by George Carlin, of course, the comedian famous for his 7 words that you can't say on TV bit. Allie, those words are?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, good. You're not allowed to say them. Hosted by, Andy Kaufman's also in it as a guest star. I could list off the musical guests, but you would have absolutely no clue who they are.
I might
nobody. Know. Billy Preston.
That name sounds familiar.
And Janice Ian.
Janice Ian, actually, I do know Janice Ian.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, any other person would not know.
I love Janice Ian, actually, so I might tune in for that episode.
Also, the Muppets are in set on the first episode of Saturday Night Live. They were like a cast member. The Muppets were Jim Henson.
Yeah.
I think for that first season, and that did not go very well, surprisingly. And then, okay, so the big deal, though, is Sunday, which is the SNL 50th anniversary special, which will actually be on NBC and Peacock at 8 Eastern. And that is where they bring, obviously, it's the current cast, and then they bring in all kinds of guest stars, former cast members like Adam Sandler, Amy Poehler, Will Ferrell, Tracy Morgan, Adam Driver will be there, the aforementioned Adam Driver. Paul Simon will be there.
Nice.
So that's going to be a huge deal. I cannot wait for that.
My favorite guest that they've already announced is former cast member Fred Armisen. I am so excited for Fred to be back.
Yeah, that is, I feel like Saturday Night Live recently took a dip to me where I was completely not interested.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of more into it again. Like I don't necessarily stay up to watch it all the time, or make time if I am up.
Nate Bargatze brought me back.
Yeah. There's been some good John Mulaney when he hosts. I always watch. And so it's been better lately. I love the guy that they have that does Donald Trump now. James Austin Johnson does an amazing... He's so much better than Alec Baldwin. I hated Alec Baldwin doing Donald Trump. So anyways, I think it's bounced back.
Yeah.
But the heyday to me was the Fred Armisen, Kristen Wiig time frame.
I loved that time frame, and then I also really loved David Spade, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley. Like, those were my 2 eras that I watched SNL the most, and I loved those skits the most. And so, but my favorite skit overall... of all time, and you might have to share yours.
Okay.
Is the dictator skit with Fred Armisen when he's being interviewed and they're asking him like different questions of like what's illegal, and he's like, believe it or not, straight to jail, also jail, and like he's like listing all of these things. It's been memeified so much, but yeah, that is my favorite skit from SNL.
I don't know if I can pick a favorite skit.
It's hard, right? There's so many. I mean, you got the More Cowbell with Christopher Walken.
That's one of the classics.
So good.
Yeah, I think about like, this can't be my favorite, but like I just got so much stupid enjoyment out of like the Californians with Fred Armisen, or when Kristen Wiig would do, not Gilly. Gilly's not very funny, but the Target lady.
Oh, yeah.
From that time. I loved
The Lawrence Welk ones with "And I'm Denise."
That might be my favorite. That always made me. Oh man, it's so hard. Anyways, I cannot wait. So that's Sunday night at 8 p.m. is the Saturday Night Live special celebrating 50 years. Yeah, this better be good. It's the new Pepsi cherries and cream. Wild cherries and cream is on what we have on the menu today. We have the zero version and the full calorie version. Allie, which one should we try first?
I think we should try the full regular one just to get the original taste.
Yeah, the Pepsi. So they're very specific. It's wild cherry and cream. And yeah, they make it look like the design on it makes it look like it's like creamy.
Yeah.
Is what I'm picking up from this. But it doesn't look creamy in the bottle though. Like if you give it a swish around or whatever, it just looks like a regular soda.
Well, I would hope not.
Well, some people put the cream and the milk in their drinks and their soda now.
Yeah, I guess.
That's popular to do.
It does smell delicious though.
It smells delicious. And it tastes about as equally delicious. This is fine. This is some fine soda.
Some fine soda. All right, let me try it out.
Good work there by Pepsi. I enjoy that. Now, some people say, why do you try the zero and the regular when they should taste the same, right? Or should they? But we've done this enough to know that they definitely, there's a wild difference.
Yeah, huge difference. I mean, what was the other one we tried recently? It was another it was Dr. Pepper.
And like I drink zero sugar soda and I'm fine with that. That's what I normally drink. But the Dr. Pepper, it was blackberry.
Yeah, the regular
blackberry zero was bad.
The blackberry zero was bad. The regular blackberry was actually really good.
It was good. Yeah. It's pretty solid. All right. So what about for Pepsi? Have they nailed the zero version of the wild cherries and cream? Because the full sugar version, really good.
Let's find out. Give it a try.
I would say first impression, almost the same. Like that's much closer, much closer than the Dr. Pepper was. And I will absolutely drink more of this zero, which I never drank more of the zero Dr. Pepper.
You can have it because there's a bad aftertaste that came for me that I'm not liking.
I'm not getting that, I feel like it's usually worse when you drink them side by side because then you taste the first one and you're like, this is good and what it's supposed to be, and then you get the second one, it's like, oh yeah, this is
not
like
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this is just for saving calories. But I feel like the zero sugar version is totally fine.
It's not terrible. Like you said, it's not as bad as what we had with that Dr. Pepper one. I keep pointing back to that food fight, but I do like the original a lot. I think the original tastes quite good, actually. And I don't usually drink Pepsi.
Yeah, you're not a Pepsi drink. Although we did have all that from Christmas, and you were the only one that drank.
Well, because it would have just sat here.
Yeah, but it doesn't go bad. If you're wondering about the calorie difference, it's 260 in the bottle of the full sugar version. It's 5 in the zero sugar.
Calories?
Yeah.
Okay, so it does have a few.
It does technically have a few calories.
But that's really nothing.
I mean, that's negligible. It's nothing. And so I'll be happy to drink the rest of that.
Okay.
I will take one for the team.
Yeah, yes, you do that.
I give these a thumbs up. Like, these are good. So, like, I enjoy it a lot. I
give the regular one a thumbs up.
I don't understand. They don't taste that different.
There's a bad aftertaste that came for me with the zero sugar. And I don't like I typically don't like the zero sugar as much. I drink Diet Coke, and I'm okay with that. But for whatever reason, the zero sugars, those ones have a bad aftertaste for me.
I don't understand that. I could never drink Diet Coke, but this is it tastes like normal soda. We are going to open up the RadioU hotline.
877-2-RADIO-U.
With Valentine's Day today, of course, I want to know what movie you watch to commemorate Valentine's Day.
Oh.
I feel like it doesn't have to be like some other holidays have like their own movies that are about that holiday.
Yeah.
There's so many movies about love for Valentine's Day. I think you can pick anything.
Right.
But which one?
Which is like my favorite rom-com?
Yeah. I mean, I know what, like if you had to pick one movie, like same way.
Or just like a romantic film.
What movie do you think sums up Valentine's? It just feels like a Valentine's movie to you. It does not have to take place at Valentine's Day. Christmas movies need to take place at Christmas.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving movies need to take place at Thanksgiving. The Sandlot and Independence Day need to take place.
Yeah,
on
that's true.
Independence Day.
It's got the fireworks.
But so Valentine's Day I think it can just be any love movies. So which one do you think fits for Valentine's Day?
I mean, I have so many favorite like romantic love story type films. I mean, A Walk to Remember, The Notebook, plenty of rom-coms that I love, Pretty Woman.
Okay.
So many. It's hard to even mention them all. But do I have a favorite? I don't know if I have a favorite that I'm like, this is my go-to. I need to watch it on Valentine's Day.
I think it's a tradition that should be started, I think. So this is
but I feel like also a lot of those like love story type of films, they also have really sad moments. At least like A Walk to Remember does.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm like, do I want to watch that on Valentine's Day and like cry my eyes out?
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes you wonder why people watch it anyway. Because it's so
good though.
Yeah. 8772 Radio U. I want to know if you have a Valentine's movie that you come back to every year for Valentine's. Definitely let us know that. But if not, let's start it. Let's make Valentine's Day movies a thing.
Okay.
What is our romantic movie for each of us this year? It'll be our Valentine's movie.
Okay, I think I just thought of one that I will share.
8772 Radio U. Let us know your Valentine's movie pick. We're getting some good answers coming in here in the group chat. We had Catherine who says, "Happy Valentine's Day, Charlie Brown."
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I forgot that there was a Charlie Brown Valentine's special.
Yeah.
Also, we heard from Mickey, this is a great pick. Princess Bride.
Oh,
yes!
Yeah, classic.
The Princess Bride is an all-timer. This is very timely. Mike says When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Of course, that was just recreated.
I thought of that one too. Yep.
Audrey says Titanic.
Oh.
Maybe a little stereotypical.
Yeah.
And then Bobby said Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey. I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
People love that movie.
I've heard of it, but I have not watched that film.
And I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So why have I not seen that?
You might need to watch it for Valentine's Day today.
I guess that could be. This could be the day. Allie, you said you had a choice?
Yeah, so I was thinking at first, I was thinking of like just romantic films like The Notebook or A Walk to Remember, but those films also have like some pretty sad moments in them, so they make me like cry and tear up. So I was thinking for Valentine's Day, maybe something more lighthearted, so maybe more of a romantic comedy would fit better.
Okay.
And one of my favorite romantic comedies is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much. Again, it's so hard to pick because there's so many good ones that I just love, like Crazy Stupid Love, You've Got Mail. I mean, there's just so many, Sleepless in Seattle. So it's really hard to choose, but I think if I had to pick one that I'm like, I'm happy to watch this on the same day every year, it would be How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah. I don't know if I've heard one yet. I like the romantic comedy thought process.
Yeah.
Like, that feels like
something more lighthearted.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Because the other ones, the things that came to mind for me were like more Oscar-y type of stuff this time of year. So then I was thinking like Shape of Water.
Oh, I do love that movie.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a little off the board, I feel. Or maybe like if you get into musicals, this would be a good time to watch like La La Land.
Or like Mamma Mia.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That's a good one.
I don't really do musicals as much, so that might not be my choice. So I'm going to have to test some stuff out.
Okay.
I'm going to have to and put a reminder in for next year to have like a Valentine's Day movie marathon leading up to Valentine's Day.
Yes. I am.
Because I do that for so many other holidays.
Right. I can almost guarantee that I'm going to watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days tonight because now I really want to watch it.
Now that we brought it up. Perfect. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.